Hi, welcome back to Al's Kitchen. Today we're going to cook a South Indian garlic king prawn naga curry. This is for everybody that loves garlic and heat. I will be using proper naga chilies in this curry. You have to order them online, you won't get them in your normal supermarkets. I'll put in the link below where I got mine from, but before I do I'll show you what they are. These chilies are called Naga Bhut Jalokia chilies. They're one of the hottest in the world, and these are going to be the chilies that are featured in today's curry. Let's start with the ingredients. What you'll need is 1 diced onion, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree mixed with a little water to thin it out. For the spices, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, a heaped teaspoon of cumin powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of chilli powder, 2 teaspoons of mild Madras powder, teaspoon of salt, half of a red pepper diced, a whole clove of garlic chopped finely, a handful of coriander, and 5 Naga Jalokia chilies dried that are hydrating in this cup of water. They hydrate in about 20 minutes. And for the oil, I'm using pure coconut oil. I'm using 3 tablespoons. As this is a prawn curry, you will need as many prawns as you like for one serving, and 3 tablespoons of coconut powder. With the king prawns, you may have noticed in Indian restaurants that they're never the same as what you buy in the supermarket. Sometimes they look more plump, like they've been prepared in some way. But what they do is they take an uncooked king prawn and they basically provide a small incision down the spine of the prawn. This is called butterflying the prawns, and what happens is when they cook, they curl up but they expand open, so what you get is chunks of prawn. It makes the prawns taste more meaty. Years ago when I had a king prawn dansak, I used to go to a particular Indian restaurant, and it did puzzle me how their prawns always look so meaty, and yet when I bought standard Atlantic prawns in the supermarket, not only did they shrink in size, they didn't taste the same and they didn't have that meaty texture. So this is what they do. They just basically open up the prawn like that. Make sure you don't cut right through the prawn, otherwise you can end up with 2 halves. If you wanted to, you can marinate these overnight in some garlic and ginger and a little bit of paprika. That's only if you wish to. Well, now we're going to prepare the naga chilies. Well, the reason I buy the dried ones is because they keep for a very long time, so you can use them when you wish to. Now, because I don't use them very often, it would be silly for me to be buying fresh ones because they'd probably just go to waste. And what I'm going to do with these chilies is I'm going to make a paste. And the reason I'm making a paste to put into the curry rather than just finely dicing the chilli and putting it into the curry is because if I dice a dried chilli, or even a hydrated one for that matter, I would end up with tiny little lumps of dried chilli all throughout the curry, and it's going to taste very gritty as well as very hot. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a little paste. So what I've just done is cut all the stems off, and I'm going to put them in a mini food processor. And add some vegetable oil, just a little vegetable oil. And there we go, it's all been blitzed in there, all the naga chili paste. Well, we'll put that to the side for now. Put in your coconut oil. But we don't want to brown the onions too much, we just want to make them mellow and take away the bitterness. It's really funny, if you can achieve the flame, it adds a smokiness to the oil, and that's like an ingredient in itself. It provides a nice smoky flavour to the final taste of the curry. Now we're going to add the garlic, and the reason we don't add the garlic straight away is because we don't want to burn the garlic. So again, with the garlic, like the onions, you want to mellow the garlic, take away the acidic flavours, and you just want to soften the garlic and sweat them out. Remember, never let this burn. If you feel that it's a little bit on the hot side, you can always add just a splash of water. Next we'll add the red bell peppers. Now we want to add all the spices. If you burn the spices, game over. Now add tomato paste. Just cook those tomatoes for about a minute. See, all the oils are starting to come out of the curry now. Cooking the spices, the tomatoes, the onions, the garlic and the peppers. Now we're going to add the naga paste. Again, cook that down for another minute. Now we're going to add 2 ladles of the base gravy, which can be seen on my other recipe on the channel. Give that a stir. Then throw in your coconut powder. And then finally your prawns. Now you want to cook that for about 4 to 5 minutes. Right, so just before it's finished cooking, I want you to sprinkle half of the coriander that you chopped earlier. And the reason we do this is because if you overcook coriander in anything, whether it be stews, casseroles, curries, it tends to lose its flavour. So if you put it in towards the end of any dish, you just cook it for long enough for the coriander to release its flavour, and it gives that fresh taste, that fresh zingy taste. Right, to present this curry in a really nice way, I decided to use a bowl. This is a soup bowl. You can use a plate if you want, but this is what I'm going to do. I prepared some basmati rice earlier, and I've got a measuring cup. You can use anything that you have. I'm going to load the measuring cup with the rice. This is just plain basmati rice. I feel that with these really hot curries, you don't need any flavoured rices because the curry is so tasty and powerful. But to add flavour to the rice is pointless because you would either dilute the flavour of the curry or end up diluting the flavour of the rice, whichever. So when you've loaded your cup, place it in the centre of the bowl. Like that. And then take your curry, and rather than do the same old way of putting curry in the middle of rice, I'll put the curry around the edges of the rice. And it makes for a nice presentation, whether this be for a dinner party, your family, friends. to tidy the plate, just give it a little shake and just tidy any splashes just with a little bit of kitchen towel. Take the remaining coriander, dress it around the edges like this. As I found while I was in Spain, this safflower, it's not saffron, it comes from the safflower, it's very cheap. You can buy this in supermarkets, and what I do is I just take a tiny pinch and just put it on the rice. And because this is a very hot curry, I think it gives like an element of fire to it, so the person who's going to eat this is think, wow, this is a fiery curry. So there you go, one South Indian garlic naga king prawn curry.